doing, Abigail?
Finding yourself.
I'm fine. What seems to bring you here?
Dealing with some issues on my job.
Issues on your job? What type of issues?
Just not getting the respect that I think I deserve being in the position that I'm in.
So you feel that you're not gaining or getting respect, granting the position that you're in. What type of position are you in?
I'm an administrative specialist, and I coordinate a lot of the programs on my job, which requires me to give directives
Okay.
and instructions. And with certain employees, I don't get responses back,
Okay.
and it's become frustrating because I have to go through so many. I have to go through different individuals in order to get my work done, in order to get a response, and I feel like it shouldn't be that way.
Okay. So being in the position you're in, you have a responsibility to give directives and instruction, and you feel that you're not getting back the respect or the compliance from those that are your subordinates.
Correct.
Okay. Could you elaborate a little on that?
Okay, I am over the take-home vehicle program for my job. This requires me to keep all of my drivers who take home our job vehicles. I make sure they stay in compliance.
Right.
So I'm responsible for updating their defensive driving, driver license, making sure their insurance is current, and running MVR reports. So I have to send reminders out. But I've noticed that with certain employees, I can send 3. And then when I don't get a response, I can forward that same email to my boss or their boss, and then I get what I need.
Okay.
That's frustrating. Why do I have to go through all of those things in order to get what I need when you can just respond to me and give it to me?
Okay. So you feel it's redundant
Yes.
to continuously send out the same email or make the same phone call to those same staff, and you don't get a response unless it's from the higher ups?
Yes.
And how do you necessarily deal with it? How is this situation frustrating you?
It really dawned on me when my supervisor said one day, "Why am I doing this?" And I tell her this is the only way I can get my job done, because when I send it out, I don't get a response. And I've shared that with her in the past, and it's kind of like she just gave a pass towards it. If she forward that same email and I get it, let it go. Now it's frustrating because she has a very high demanding job, and she just needs people to do what they supposed to do so I can get my job done and she stay out of it. So it's been a frustration on both ends, but I noticed that my attitude is starting to show with dealing with these individuals. Yeah, I'm getting tired.
Okay. So now you're a supervisor that stepped in.
Yes.
And what's transpiring is being more noticeable.
Yes.
And so when she intervenes, does the behavior of those subordinates, does it change momentarily? Has it been something that's fleeting, or has it been something that seems as if it's going to last?
It doesn't seem like it's gonna last, because we go right back to the same thing again.
So in dealing with your department, culturally, or how diverse is your department?
It's very diverse.
Okay.
We have different races and those of different religious backgrounds. So that's another thing that I'm learning.
Okay. So your department is culturally diverse, and in terms of dealing with the subordinates, whom in general are you dealing with? Are we looking at more so the female dynamics or the male dynamics?
Male dynamics.
Okay? And as you're dealing with these individuals, how 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 do you necessarily relate outside of the emails? Is there any actual contact that you would have face to face?
With some, yes, and with some, they're not approachable. You just want to get what you can get from them and keep it moving. And I have some who I can say, 'cause it's times where I even speak, good morning, and just give me what they need and walk out. With others, where I express, you offended me when you did such and such, or when you said it in their tone, and they express to me, I'm sorry, in our culture, where I'm from, when we trying to get our points across, our voices they just get strong, but it doesn't mean anything. That helped me out with dealing with this particular group of people, because I saw it in those who come from the same background as this individual.
And what group is that per se?
They Nigerians.
Okay.
Yes.
And the other cultural backgrounds that represent your department, what are they?
We have Muslim. I have one that's from German. He's German. So, he's one who doesn't believe in saying excuse me. He just comes and talk. Then when he shared with me his background of where he came from, I understood. So with the other individuals, we don't communicate like that, so I don't know.
Okay. And being in a supervisor's position, how much time have you or even your department head put in to getting to know the department as individuals who come from culturally diverse backgrounds?
We don't.
Okay.
Because some of the people, even though they're part of our department, they work out in the field. So my only affiliation with them is through email. It's through email I'm making a phone call if I need something.
So outside the email or phone call attempts, there has been no attempt to get to know the staff, understand who they are, where they come from, and what could be done in this particular department to make everything run smoothly.
No. We have.
Okay, so what are your expectations from them?
My expectation from the ones who I'm having the issues with?
From the entire department? What are your expectations from your department, given that it's culturally diverse, but yet no one knows one another to the point where they can coincide?
Wow. I never thought about that. I'm just trying to see how can it be incorporated for me to be able to see, to learn more about those who I have to communicate with. I don't know how we would be able to do that.
For instance, you just mentioned that one of your staff seemingly offended you, but when that staff spoke with you on a one-on-one basis, they pretty much told you who they were and gave you a general synopsis of their background and why they appear to be coming off abrasive, but that's generally not what their intent is. So whether it be a scenario where it's when you sit down one-on-one as supervisor and subordinate in a performance counseling type thing, or it's a scenario where the department itself gathers together and does something to express the cultural differences or the cultural backgrounds of each individual, where you're allowed to come together and be in a festive mode, that